Hello, when you play farming similar to 25, would you like to try a map with some really dark nights, lots of snow, rolling hills, and a huge lake? Let's check it out. I'm Farmer Teacher. Stick around. We're going to take a look at this map. It's great. Okay, you're going to start the map right here. That road behind me, this is actually how you get to your farm right here. It comes from the main road. So you'd come up here, and here's your house. Nice farmhouse. You've seen it on other maps. All right, coming around here, you got your famous red International pickup truck. All right, let's check out your first barn here. You do have a 5,000 liter fuel tank there with nothing in it yet, but you could add some fuel to there pretty easy by clicking on that wrench there. All right, let's check out inside this barn. You got the famous John Deere 3650 with 116 horsepower. You got some grass cutting machinery here. Okay, that's both pieces. And you got a small tedder there. You've got a forage wagon. And you've got a nice oxbow windrower. You got the Great Plains seeder. You need to get the fertilizer attachment for that. So you got enough stuff to get you started there. Come on around here. You got a very small chicken pen. It holds 20 chickens. You have 5. I think one of them's a rooster. You can hear them. And you have a very small sheep pen. It comes with 10 sheep and it holds 32, but that does give you some income from wool. Okay, coming over here, you got a decent sized crampy trailer. Coming in this barn, you got the famous Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester to get you started with the grain header and a trailer. You get a very small planter right here. You got a quickie attachment for one of your tractors. You've got a small sprayer there for one of your tractors. You do have a pressure washer so you can clean your equipment, and it's already dirty and somewhat damaged. You've got the Fiat 18090 Turbo DT with 180 horsepower. That's your most powerful tractor. Then you got the white with 160 horsepower. That is upgradable to 230, but it's not upgraded yet. And you have a corn header that's tucked away over here. So you have some pretty decent stuff to get you started. And over here you have a plow and a cultivator. Okay, so you have pretty much everything you need. You even have a Transtar tractor trailer with the large load king on the back, the triple hopper. That's a little much for this up a hill, but on the highway it does okay. You got a few fields. You got a cornfield here. It's kind of small. This is about 3 1/4 acres of corn that's growing. And you got a 6-acre alfalfa field. Well, why do you have that? Well, you could make that into hay and feed that to your sheep, because your sheep don't have a whole lot of grass there. Okay, and over here you got 4.8 acres of summer wheat that's ready to harvest. And next to that, there's 5.8 acres of oats ready to harvest, but you don't own this one. It belongs to Walter. But you could purchase that pretty easy enough, okay? But that's $203,000. Okay, now let's hop over here to your soybean. You do own this soybean field right here. Okay, it's growing. You got 8 acres of that. So that's pretty good. That'll give you some income. Your silo in here is pretty unique. It holds 5.4 million liters of stuff. And it has a dryer, but there's no propane on the map, and it doesn't show up under your productions. So I don't think that actually works. Okay, I don't think that actually works as a dryer. But anyway, the cool thing about your silo is if you go to prices, see everything that you have a 0 there will store in your silo. That includes grapes, onions, olives, pretty much everything except for cotton. You can't get cotton in there. That's bales. Okay, but you can get everything else in there. Look at that, including fermented alfalfa, which is interesting. So that's pretty cool stuff. You can even store diesel, dried alfalfa, dry clover, hay, grass in your silo, which is pretty cool. All right, so your silo holds grass and hay and other things to get you going, a place to put that. So you have a good forage wagon. You can gather that, throw grass in there, and feed it to your sheep over there. This is your general farm right here. Okay, you have 4 fields. You got soybeans, you got the wheat, and you got corn over here. The wheat's ready to harvest, and so is the alfalfa. If you don't want to deal with alfalfa, you could plant grass in there. Okay, here's the whole map. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. There's a lot of cool things on the map that you can upgrade to. Okay, so you're right here. We'll fly over there and I'll show you, but this is where the shop is over here. and this is the gas station. There's another farm over here you can purchase. We're going to look at these. This one is big. It's 2.3 million. There's a real big one up here for $3.6 million. We're going to take a closer look in a second. And this one is 900,000. There's a constructible house over here, right there for like 55,000. We're going to look at that. There's some orchards right here. Let's see. There's a small farm right here you could purchase for 272,000. That's probably the smallest beginner farm. So there's 5 farms you can get. You're starting from, the farm manager thing, or starting from scratch. And there's some individual houses you could purchase also. So pretty cool map, Let's go take a look around. Okay, check it out. Here's a nice aerial view of your farm. You got your 2 barns there, your silo, your house, and you can see your alfalfa field, your corn field, and then your soybeans and your wheat field. And this field full of oats belongs to Walter, but I would probably purchase that for a couple $100,000 because it's right there next to your farm. Here's Walter's home you can purchase, and there's some other fields over here. Coming on down this way, you got the farmer's market here on the left, okay, which is convenient to your farm. That's another reason that I purchased this piece of land right here for not much, and I made this road come straight out to the road, and it gave me a quick access to the farmer's market because that ended up being a common sell point. And you can come down here to the gas station, and there's the shop, okay. Get your stuff worked on here, and your stuff's going to spawn over here. There's a pier over here, and I'll show you in a minute. I don't have it on this particular one, but if you have the Highlands fishing package, there will be a boat right there that belongs to you. So you start out with that boat on a starter farm, which is kind of cool. And there's a little beach area here. You can come down here and go to the lighthouse, fish off of that if you want. Park over here. Okay, coming over this way, you got the warehouse and some points of sale. There's some more points of sale over here. And this spot here is kind of interesting. So what you can do, let me show you on the map. If you purchase field 11, it's $211,000, but you're going to get 5 greenhouses, and you get this little tiny field. Also right here, for $15,000, you could purchase this, and basically it's a bunch of beehives. You got the large beehives there. There's 4 of them. You'll have to put somewhere for your honey to spawn because it's not there. So right here you have this little farmer's kiosk where you can sell the honey. So what I did is I put the little spawn for the honey right here, and I could just move it from here to there. Okay, you got a pretty nice little playground over here for the kitties. That's a nice touch, along with your other points of sale, spinnery, the dairy, some other things. Coming over this way, you got a very large cow farm you can purchase. Got big bunker silos. There's 2 pens here. This one has buffalo in it. That one's $3.6 million. Okay, $3.6 million. Over here, you got a smaller one you can purchase for $900,000. That includes the cow area there, these little breeder things here for the baby cows, and you get a chicken pen with this farm, and a house, and a few barns, and you get this field right here. So this is kind of nice for $900,000. Not a bad purchase. Over here you got some other points of sale. You got another dairy, the grain mill, different things up here. So that's kind of cool. Then you got the animal dealer over here. Okay, over here you got the sawmill right on the water, which is kind of interesting. Okay, now right here you got some orchards that you can purchase. And what you're going to have to do, it requires some compost. And the way you get compost, which is a question I've had on this map already, you go to silos, and it looks like a manure basin. Okay, and that's it here. It says compost silo. So you put organic material in there, organic waste. You can use your imagination what that is. And then it's going to turn into compost. So you can put that somewhere on your farm, but you'll need compost if you want to do these orchards right here. You got some pretty areas over here. Look at this. Beautiful area out here, and look at this lake house you can purchase. We're going to go in that in a second, but check it out. For $1.2 million, you can purchase this beautiful lake home. Look at this thing. That's beautiful. Right there on the water. All right, let's come on down the shoreline. There's another one here that's a little more reasonable. Look at this. I actually purchased this not too far into the game. It's not as big, but hey, check it out. It's beautiful, and it's right on the lake, and you can go inside it. And this one is only $395,000. And by the way, here's another little cow farm right here next to yours for 2.3 million, I think. And it includes some nice barns there. This barn has a workshop and you can sleep in there. So that's like your workshop in a house. Really cool. You got some silos there for seeds and fertilizer and lime. You got a nice gas station there. And you got a huge, I think it's 16 million liters silo along with some bunkers. And you got this little field over here along with your cow fields. So that's kind of neat. Now you're back to your farm over here. Let's take a look at the detail of some of these farms you can buy. Okay, check it out. There are a few glitches in here and some unique things to this map. First of all, when you look at the animals, okay, the chicken pen there, the base food is wheat and stuff, but the grain, for grain, it considers that corn. Okay, so you can put a type of wheat or barley as 74% base food, but you're going to need corn to get it to 100%. Silage is 90%, unlike a lot of them. Hay's only 60. Okay, and the meadow's 80, which I like. Okay, for your sheep, they're a little strange too. Grass is 85% effective, and silage is 10%, and root crops is 5%. So meadow is only 85%. So they'll be at 85% if they eat meadow or grass. What I did is I threw a little silage in there. I didn't really worry with the root crops much, but that put them at 95% as far as making wool. All right, let's go next door and look at this farm you can purchase. Now, this map has lots of snow. It is in, Michigan. I think it's wonderful that they've increased the snow because some of the maps that claim they're up north, they don't have any more snow than any of the regular maps. Okay, this has a lot of snow, and you'll notice. All right, this farm over here you can purchase. It's right next to yours. Okay, it's $2.3 million. Let's hop down there real quick. Okay, you get this huge barn here. I love this barn. You got the big door on the end and these doors on the side. I put this on some other maps. You got a very large fuel tank there you can get. I like this piece of gear too. I've had it on some other maps. You got a pressure washer there. Your workshop button is over there. And then you can live in here, of course. Attached to this is a livable house, which is pretty cool when you come in here. And there's your sleep button in there. This is really cool. Really cool. This is awesome. And you got a large cow barn over here. This one has 50 cows in it. So as soon as you purchase that, you get 50 cows. It holds 229. But the food capacity is only 60,000. And slurry is 100,000. So not very much. I wish those were expanded. Let me show you this lake house that I purchased. This is really cool. I love the houses. You can go inside. This one you can go inside. Of course, it has the garage is right in there. Look at this view at your house. It's beautiful. Nice kitchen. Come out here and barbecue. And you got several bedrooms and an office. And yours, I'm pretty sure, is right here. And there's three other bedrooms over there and a room. Look at that view in your bedroom. That's just awesome. Let me show you this granddaddy lake house over here. This one is really cool. The water here is very pretty. Well, first of all, look at your garages. You got 4 garages over here. You could actually keep some equipment in here for your farm, even though this doesn't include any farm land. Because this is a workshop, which is really cool. You could have, some tractors and a truck up here, your semis maybe, or something like that. Really cool. Now, this was more expensive, though. This was like $1.2 million. But look at this. You got the high ceilings here, nice kitchen, even though your fridge needs working on because it's only 77 degrees in there. I don't know. You got a nice view out the back of the lake, and you got these bedrooms up here, bathroom, office. And then your sleep button is in there. That's really cool. Okay, this map is challenging. At night, it's very, very dark. It's not like most of the regular standard maps. It's very dark. There's a lot of snow in the winter, and the terrain is crazy. We're up on the top of this little mountain here. If you want to do forestry, you can purchase this. Good staging area here with a warehouse there to put your equipment in, but it's steep. Okay, it's steep. Okay, right here, there is a constructible you can purchase for 55 grand. It includes some trees around it, so you can get some equipment up here and start working on building that house there, which is kind of cool. Okay, just for your bearings, there's your $900,000 farm you can purchase, a cow farm. And over here, you got this $3.6 million one. We're going to hop down here and just show you a couple of things. Okay, you got this deal in here you can go in. This is where your farm hands can come hang out. There's a kid, they can come over here and have lunch. There's some offices up here and a pool table. It's like a rec room for them when they're on break or something. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And you got a big warehouse right here to put your stuff. This is a nice facility here. Pressure washer. got 2 cow barns on here. This first one has 300 regular cows and the capacity is 780. Now the challenge here, this is a cow barn with a robot and it doesn't work. I couldn't get the robot to do its thing. If you look at the capacities of this, it says that for hay and silage and mineral feed, the capacity of 0. I added some in there and it still said I had 0. So even though you could physically see it. So I don't think the robot works on these two things here. That is a very large cow barn with a pasture. And then you got over here, you've got buffalo. So you got 65 and the capacity is 310. Same thing with the robot though. You got some nice storage facilities here, nice pastures, fuel tank there, and some bunker silos. Okay, there's 43 fields on the map, 113 farmlands, 5 pre-built farms you can get, and those couple of beautiful lake houses. There are some unique crops on here. You got alfalfa, clover, flowering catch crop, green rye, spelt, silage maize, triticale, vexed rye, and winter barley. If you have the Highlands fishing package, you do start out with a boat on this pier over here. And there it is. So there's your boat. As long as you have the Highlands fishing package loaded. If you don't want to get it, you can use my code TEACHER. Help out my channel. I'd appreciate it. All right, let me show you there are 25 collectibles on here. I'm going to show you where one is in case you don't want to know. Let me show you the production chains. There's a bakery, 2 bakeries, a canning factory, carpentry, cereal factory, cooper, dairy, grain mill, oil mill, piano manufacturer, a sawmill, spinnery, sugar mill, and a tailor shop. Okay, and you start out not owning any, but you can purchase those greenhouses and whatnot and some other things. So that's it. I'm Farmer Teacher. Share this with your farming buddies. And I'm going to show you where this collectible is. If you don't want to know, you can leave now. Aha! It's hidden right here. And you get $10,000. So there's 25 of these. It's for the Elevator Museum. And they're $10,000 each. So there you go. Okay, like I say, that's all I got. I'll see you on the next go-around. I'm Farmer Teacher. Bye-bye.